It's 8 o'clock. It's Sunday with the Sullivans. How is everybody? We have finished up 3 weeks of the kids being home from school. Grace and Jonathan both working from home with mom. And David just finished his second week of working from home. And so all four of us have been home for 2 weeks. The kids with me for 3 weeks. So, and it's what's strange is like I've worked from home for like since January of 2019. And so like my routine got totally disrupted from having everybody with me. And then David is just 2 weeks. It was interesting. We didn't do our Facebook Live last Sunday, but it was interesting because toward the end of the first week, you came bouncing into my office and you're like, this is hard.
It is hard.
It is hard. I said, it's kind of like looking through a telescope because you're looking at different screens all day. And for me, I'm looking at Slack to communicate with colleagues literally all over the world. I have colleagues in Stockholm and Hawaii and Canada, the western side of Canada and California, like all over, and Brazil. And so there's a time, not only is there like everything's done online, but there's a time difference too. So there's 6 hours ahead of me or 6 hours behind me or 3 hours behind me, but
most of mine are just in North Carolina. I guess I feel even more isolated now.
Oh, because they're all in North Carolina. So yeah. So anyway, but you're getting along.
Yeah. I mean, it is an adjustment though. Working from home has not been nearly as easy as I expected it to be. Everything just seems to take so much longer where I could walk down the hallway and get a file and know exactly what was happening. I can't do that anymore. So it is real different.
Yeah, it
and
is.
Zoom meetings just go on and on and on and on forever.
We tend to use Google Hangouts for our diet doctor meetings, but they are, like I said, 6 hours ahead. So we've kind of found a rhythm. Like I tend to get up and I try to be online by 6 or 7 a.m. because by noon, my time, they're all kind of gone. And then Kristen Parker in Hawaii is waking up shortly after that. But of course, there's feeding the dogs and getting the kids on their schedule. So I think what we had to do early on for all of us to be home working together was a couple things. One, we all kind of had to stick out our space. Like, okay, David, where are you working from? So he works in the bonus room now. He is so loud. He's like on a conference call and we can hear him all over the house. Grace is texting us, shh, be quiet, I'm in class. She's working in her bedroom. Jonathan is now working in his bedroom and I'm downstairs in the office. I'm the only one downstairs. But anyway, so we all had to find our space and we all had to make sure we had the equipment that we needed. We had a desk or we had access to the printer and that kind of thing. And I've been writing a lot for Diet Doctor. If you haven't read some of what I've been writing, I'm writing a little bit about it, about the kids feeling snacky. Have you been feeling snacky? That's a Grace thing, feeling snacky.
There aren't all that many snacks in the house.
Well, there were. Let me just tell you, I was going out and buying like nuts and buying like 3, 4, 5 bags at a time, and they were eating 3, 4, 5 bags at a time. And so we had this little, everybody's under a little more stress. And so we had this day where I'm like, you are going to be hungry. I had to look them all in the eye and like, you are going to be hungry. Stop eating the snacks. And we're out of nuts, aren't we? For the most part.
Yep, I think we are.
Except for what I've hidden. And David found them. David's like, these were in the trunk. You forgot to bring them out. And I'm like, I didn't forget them.
We don't usually use a trunk as a food storage area.
I had hidden them in the trunk. How about you guys? Are you having to hide food so that they'll have it later? Because I don't want to go to the store every 3 or 4 days. So, and I haven't been to the store since last Friday. Well, I went last Friday, a week ago.
Your last pickup was Saturday.
I did, but that was kind of scary because
we're not out of toilet paper.
We're not out of toilet paper. I did a grocery store order and only about half of it was actually there. There was no eggs, there was no cream. And so that was stressful to me. The fact that there were 2 different visits to the store, like in a week, there were no eggs. And there's no heavy cream.
It'd be interesting now. We're in North Carolina where we've had a stay-at-home order in place for a week or more. It would be interesting to see if the grocery stores have had a chance to restock.
Well, the first
I
of the
haven't heard
month, people I
anything.
think were probably out. But anyway, I may try to go Wednesday or Thursday just to pick up a few little things. And of course, Easter is coming up. And so this was something I actually wrote for Diet Doctor, kind of an Easter collection recipe. And this is going to be different for us because I expect we're not going to be with the grandmothers. We used to pick like David's mom or dad, his family, or my mom to spend Easter with. And the other grandmother got Mother's Day. And so we're not going to do that this year. We've been doing FaceTime with my mom and with my brother and sister-in-law and their little girl. She's cute. And I show her the puppies and she talks to me. But anyway, so we've been doing FaceTime with them. But anyway, it's not going to be the kind of Easter that we're used to. But I did something for Diet Doctor that has Easter collection. So if you get a chance to look at some of those recipes, even if it's just your smaller family, you might enjoy some of those. And I put Easter basket ideas because we always do Easter baskets. And I have ordered a few things, not anything special, but for Easter baskets. And it doesn't have to be anything elaborate, just something that, celebrates the season. And we're going to share with you kind of one of our family traditions about Easter. And something that my Aunt Jo always did with me and with the kids, when we were little girls, who's Debbie. Something my my Aunt JoJo would always do is an Easter bunny cake. And so we use the full 8-inch round cake pans. Y'all know what I'm talking about, the Easter bunny cakes? So I've been doing those with the mini cakes. Now this is gonna be so different from what we're used to doing. My Aunt Jo would be like, girl, what you doing? But we're making it work this year, okay? And we're gonna do it low carb. But we have, I made the little Easter bunny cakes, little minute cakes. So like I said, normally you would do them with the big regular size. And so what you do is you put one cake down. I made these earlier. One is in the center. Yeah. And so that's going to become the Easter bunny face. And then you take this guy. Let me move it so maybe they can see. David's going to do the cutting here. So you take this one. Okay, what do you need that for? Oh, okay, he's got a plan. I was trying to move it so they could see. So you take it and you cut it think of a baseball. So you're gonna cut this way and you're gonna cut this way. So try to make them as parallel as you can. I do have an extra cake in case it gets screwed up. But this is a chocolate minute muffin. This is a new recipe that's going to be in Growing Up Keto, and the kids love it. In fact, I started making these and Grace is like, ooh, Mom. And so then Jonathan wanted one. He was like, ooh, Mom. So Grace ate one, Jonathan ate 1.5. Thank goodness I made 3 batches. Each recipe makes 2 little minute muffins. And so thankfully I made 3 batches so that I'd have plenty for today. You're doing a good job there, buddy. So what happens when you cut it like a baseball, I don't know if you guys saw what he was doing, but what happens is, and my aunt would always use the box cake mix, right? And so it was like vanilla.
Well, if you put the bunny ears up here, they'll actually see the bunny on the camera.
So you want me to make it upside down?
Yes.
Okay, so here's one little bunny ear. And you want to put the other bunny ear on? Yummy, yummy.
His ears don't flop like Banjo's. The dog's ear flops.
Banjo has one perky ear and one floppy ear.
And look what's left. A bow tie.
So my Aunt Jo was the youngest in the family, and Aunt JoJo's always a cut up, a total cut up. And to be honest, if you look at this, this was a 70s thing. Look at it, honey. Let's be real.
Are you thinking about Hugh?
Yes. This is really a Playboy bunny. This was our Easter cake.
Aunt JoJo always was fun.
Aunt JoJo was the aunt that told me if anything ever happened to her, the FBI would be looking for her panties for fingerprints. That's what she told me when I was a little girl. Aunt JoJo, I love you. She's the best aunt ever. She was always the one who took us to the swimming pool. But anyway, so Aunt JoJo, people are laughing, Aunt JoJo would make this cake, but she made the full size. But what was always kind of fun, and the reason I like to make the mini cakes, is because then you can decorate it the way you want to, right? Sorry, I had to get it even up there. But we're doing something non-traditional because I'm doing chocolate cake. And normally, like I said, this is a white cake. And you could use the lemon cake if you have the Crazy Busy Keto book. You could use the lemon, would be perfect. And I made, this is non-traditional too, this is a raspberry icing. And I had some freeze-dried, unsweetened freeze-dried raspberries. So we're gonna use that to do our cake. Now, like I said, normally JoJo would use white cake, white icing.
Did she use like coconut sprinkles to give it fur look?
She would do the coconut
Twizzlers to give it whiskers.
We had the most fun doing candy. And this is something I do with my kids. Like we would make, you know, when the kids were little, I had pictures of them kind of coming up and we would make cakes. They'd have friends over. So I'd make several layers of cakes. And she would dye the coconut pink to do pink on the inside of the ears. So I'm just doing, you want to help? I'm just doing rice.
You want me to lick the batter?
He's so helpful. So just smear it on. It's not going to be perfect, y'all. I'm really sorry about that. Ooh, I'm making a big mess. But anyway, you just want to get a coat of this. And I'm using the raspberry because it's what I had. I mean, you know, we're in quarantine, y'all. I'm going to let David do it while I talk. But anyway, and so I also, you're just going to ice him. Boy, the ears are getting
I thought you said that. I thought you wanted me to ice him.
Yeah, so David's going to ice it. That other little guy might be easier to use. Gracie's not going to work. He'd be here. I was hoping that Grace would be here and help us ice this thing because it's something that we've done. And she's like, no, I think she's outgrown us. And then Jonathan was also a no. But I have video of him with friends doing this just a few years ago. And like I said, with Gracie too. And we'd always have fun with the eyes. And so I spent some time trying to figure out, because JoJo would use like the M&M eyes, Twizzlers, like you said. So I started going through the cabinets and I found like freeze-dried strawberries. So I thought that could be a cute little nose, right? And actually I think for a bunny, the nose should go like this. But anyway, so I'm gonna use a freeze-dried strawberry. And then I had some chocolate chips the kids didn't actually eat. And I thought the chocolate chips would show up nicely on the pink. And then I took some almonds. So we're gonna take the almonds and put those down and then put a chocolate chip for the eye. What do you think? If you guys have better ideas, I'm sure you do have better ideas about how to decorate this bunny cake, let me know. And I can put this on the website, maybe I can get this recipe up. But like I said, you can use the any of the chocolate minute muffins. You can use any of the icing recipes. I do think the lemon for Easter would be fantastic. So if you have Crazy Busy Keto, there is the lemon minute muffin. It's in the breakfast chapter and it's really good. It's a yummy one. And I would love to see the pictures of what you make. So take pictures and show me your bunny cake. What I also love about using the mini cake instead of the big cake is you don't have so much of it. And then also, if the kids were playing with us, I would have them do their own. So like each person could do their own. Now, 1 minute muffin is a serving. So this would be at least 2 servings of cake. So somebody can eat the face and somebody could eat the ears and the bow tie. We used to have fun with the bow tie. We would take the multicolored M&Ms to do the bow tie. If you guys have done this, comment and let me know if this was a family tradition for you guys at Easter. But we used to have the most fun doing it. And I used to always feel sad eating it. Like my cousins would get in there. Aunt JoJo had 2 boys, Dan and Alan. And my cousins would always want to eat the cake like as soon as it was done. And I didn't want them to eat it. That was always kind of traumatic for me because the boys wanted to eat the cake. I always wanted them to start with the bow tie. I'm going to clean this up a little bit. I always wanted them to start with the bow tie and save the face. So we would generally eat the bow tie first, and then we would eat the ears and then the face. I'm gonna get something to.
Yeah. We didn't plan for that.
We didn't plan for that. Usually when I'm doing videos, I plan for that. Mary says, yeah, that icing is so good with it. So what I did was I essentially powdered the freeze-dried raspberries, and then I put some sucrin, powdered sweetener, and a little bit of cream cheese, just 2 ounces of cream cheese, and maybe a 1/3 cup, maybe, of whipping cream, and just whipped it up with the little whip attachment on my immersion blender. And that's all I did. And in fact, this is only part of it because I made some candies here. I made some candies with this, some chocolate candies. I'll have to tell you guys about that too. I think there's some in the fridge too, of the little chocolate candies. But anyway, so David did the bunny.
It's not perfect, but
it's not perfect, but
it's a start.
It's cute. So, and you guys, like I said, can probably get so much more creative than we. How's that for an eye? And that for an eye. What do you think about the, should the bunny nose, what should we use for the bunny nose? Like that, is that a bunny nose? It's not like that.
It's close enough.
And then like whiskers coming out here. Use the chocolate chips
Sure.
for whiskers. You want to do that side?
Sure.
Look at this. You can't eat it tonight. You're not going to argue with me?
No.
I'm going to try 2 more. Normally he would argue with me, like, why can't I eat it? I see Michelle's watching and Suzanne's watching.
Well, you said a while ago we were eating all the snacks. So.
Cute. Oh. And look, if we
Oh,
want
that's
to,
right. You can take the for the
we can do tifas. We can do little bunny teeth. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. There's the little bunny teeth. It looks
Is it
like
a bunny or a cat?
Maybe we shouldn't put the teeth on there. I don't know. Move
I
that
think
down.
the teeth are cute.
You like the teeth are cute. It's a rabbit needs braces. But there's so many things that you can do with this, and certainly you could put different flavored icing. The bow tie could be a different color. You could make one ear kind of crooked. You could make it floppy if you wanted to, but it's so easy. You're going to do the face as one round cake, the ears and the bow tie, you just cut like a baseball, and David did those, and yeah, so it's fun. It's really a great thing to get the kids involved. You
could outline the bow tie so it looks a little more like a bow tie instead of a double chin or something.
Yeah, you could move it down. I think, let me see the icing thing. Let me clean this up a little bit. Somebody asked what did we do for the whiskers. It's just chocolate chips. The little dark things are chocolate chips. So yeah, we lost a little definition there.
Lily's not Lily's.
Not Lily's.
Stevia.
Yeah.
Blend chocolate chips.
I found a new chocolate chip, Wholesome Provisions. Not an endorsement of anything, but they use stevia and erythritol, and there's no inulin. Lily's has some inulin in it, which can impact blood glucose for some people. And so when I found that, I got that. So anyway.
And we've been enjoying them.
So if you like mini cakes too, by the way, I'm doing another cooking class with Chibo, and I've got to make a decision quick, but one option is to do a series of mini cakes. And so we could do 3 different flavors, maybe a chocolate, a lemon, a strawberry, a raspberry, but 3 different flavors of cakes, 3 different flavors of icing. And so we'll make the mini cakes. And what I typically do is I take a mini cake, split it, put icing, do another layer of icing, so it becomes like a 4-layer cake. And again, it's servings for 2, but those little layer cakes would be so cute. The class is April 18th, and I thought that it would be fun to do those little cakes for Mother's Day, because you know Mother's Day is coming up in May.
Oh, so if we did those cakes, we could freeze them and we could pull them out. Oh.
We could freeze them and pull them out and share them for Mother's Day. But anyway, that was kind of the plan, maybe to do the mini cakes for Mother's Day. The other option is I have this baguette recipe that is so good. Jonathan loves it, and he's been my carbivore until August. And so we thought about doing the baguette recipe so people could learn how to make that and do butters, flavored butters, like maybe a tomato bacon butter. Does that sound good to you? No, because you don't love tomato. An herbed butter.
Yes, I like herb butter.
Yeah. Anyway, so we talked about doing the baguette, but that takes like the entire time. But anyway, so let me know what you think. Would you rather do the class with a bunch of mini cakes, layer cakes, not bunny cakes, or would you rather do a baguette, learn how to make a baguette? But anyway, this is so easy. Please make this with your kids and take pictures and show me what you've done. I'm sure yours are going to outdo ours, and it is pretty if you use a white icing. But I've done chocolate before, chocolate icing. This was just something I was making candies with that icing, and so we just kind of used what we had because I am a little fearful of running out of ingredients. So anyway, so we made our bunny cake. Happy Easter!
Happy Easter! Now we can put it in the freezer and pull it out next weekend.
Next weekend for Easter. We also, and I can't show you tonight, I think it's too dark, but so a couple of things. We planted a little garden outside. We have little planters. It's not much of a garden. Our parents and grandparents had huge gardens. I've got some herbs out there, things I like to cook with, some cilantro, some parsley, some basil, things like that, oregano, thyme.
Tomatoes, broccoli, cabbage.
And then the vegetables, we did some tomato plants, some Roma tomatoes, some cherry tomatoes, some big tomatoes, peppers, jalapeno peppers for David, some bell pepper for me.
Well, let's be honest, most of it's for the rabbits and the squirrels and all those critters.
We put them in planters on the porch because the critters eat our garden. And so we would put them on the porch trying to keep the critters. But I'm not kidding. We actually had a squirrel one year that came up. We had the tomato on the porch in a planter, big tomato plant. The squirrel literally came onto the porch, grabbed the tomato and sat on the railing eating the tomato. The squirrel looking us in the eye like, hey, thanks for the snack, y'all. So anyway, so we're putting them on the porch hoping that we'll actually get something out of it. But we had broccoli, we have cabbage, we have cucumber. Love fresh cucumber for the garden.
And let's be clear, it's 1 broccoli plant and 3 cabbage plants. It's not...
Well, I mean, veggies have carbs. You don't need all those carbs. Anyway, Mary Dixon is saying that the baguettes sound really good to her instead of the mini cakes for the cooking class. But anyway, so we'll see how the garden goes. But I may do a YouTube video on that. I did do a couple videos over the weekend. So those videos, YouTube videos, will be coming out this week, I think. I did one on kind of how to cook from your pantry. And I went through our pantry and found some things. So I'm giving you guys some ideas if you're cooking from shelf-stable canned food items. So I've got some ideas there. And I also did, what was the other one I did? Oh, veggies, kind of extending the life of veggies, because we're trying to go to the store like every other week. And so when you're going to the store every other week, not going so often, you have to think about what vegetables you're getting and what you can use over time so you don't run out of things. And so I have a couple of ideas for that, for making things last over time. So that'll be coming up. And I do want to show you guys the garden. I think that'll be a lot of fun. Diet Doctor, I'm doing featured articles for them every week, so look for those. I've written about my family and going through the Great Depression, and that's the piece that really, did you read that piece?
I don't think so.
You didn't read that? That's the piece that I think really meant a lot to me, because I think about my mom's family and how there were 6 of them in the family, and when they look back at their childhood, such fond memories, and even talking about the outhouse being replaced and the times that they struggled, they laugh. And so I've actually really taken that to heart with kind of the situation we've been in. I think last weekend was hard for me. I started worrying a bit, but I think that finally I decided that, you know what, our kids are going to look back on this, and we're going to look back on this, and how did we handle it? How did we, and I think that's where we have to make that conscious decision every day. What are they going to remember from this? We're going to remember Mom hiding the nuts.
I'm sure we're going to remember that.
Maybe they'll remember the bunny cake tradition.
Don't forget to ask them to hit share.
Oh, David says you're supposed to hit share. You're supposed to oh, I forgot. I should have done that first.
Yeah,
you're supposed to share the video so that other people can see it in the big group, because people can't ever find it. So you're supposed to hit the share button and share to Low Carb Journey so that people there can have. But anyway,
Marcia D.
Marcia Daniels watching
us. Hey, Marcia.
And Christine Wolf. Hey, Christine, she's in Georgia. I met her when I was down in Georgia. And Deanna Lambert Burleson. I was talking about the family. She's part of the family. Married my cousin. But anyway, so thank you guys for joining us on Sunday Night with the Sullivans. We didn't do this last week, and I did miss you guys. But anyway, we have a few more weeks of staying together. I looked at the calendar. Kids are out of school for 6 more weeks, y'all. So maybe we'll have wine again next time. If you have, speaking of drinks, if you haven't made the coffee, the iced coffee from last week, so good. And
well, that was a YouTube video, wasn't it?
That was a YouTube video. Yeah, that's true. And then we made the caramel. 2 weeks ago, we made the caramel sauce. And so if you have, and I should have shared the candies, maybe I'll share the candies next week. If you've made the caramel and you make the peanut butter cups, you can use the little mini muffin tins to make those. And just like you make the peanut butter cups, use the caramel filling there. And that would be a fantastic thing for Easter baskets.
Unless somebody eats all the caramel filling.
All the caramel.
Not
filling.
all of it. There's still
There's like a teaspoon
maybe.
left.
Maybe a
in
quarter
there.
of a teaspoon.
So anyway, I told him I'd make another if I can find cream in the store. I told him I do have a stash of cream. I shouldn't complain. But anyway, I told him that I would make more caramel sauce. I'm going to try to make those little candies, and I'll share that. Baguettes, please. Simone is saying, please make the baguettes. And Simone, I owe you the rum cake. I keep thinking I'm going to make the rum cake.
Requests for the baguettes.
For the baguettes. That got the most votes. We had people voting in the group, and baguettes got more votes than mini cakes. Mini cakes are so fun. Maybe we do both. I have to get up with the GE folks and see if they'll let me do both. We're also going to offer a coupon code, by the way. I did not, people are laid off from work and worried about money, and I did not want to charge $30 for that cooking class, and so I begged them because I get paid to do this, whatever, so it doesn't take money out of my pocket. But anyway, so I said, can we please do this like more cheaply? And so I think they're going to let me do a coupon code, maybe do it for like $10-15 or something. So I'm excited about that. So it won't be 30, and they're going to lower the registration. Only maybe 25-30 people get to register for these classes. And do the caramel. Do the caramel and the gummy bear. That's a great idea, Christine. But
and it'll be here in your kitchen.
It'll be here in the kitchen. I'll be here. So they've sent me that technology. They ship things to me. We've been trying it out. We're going to do another practice run with the Chiba folks. I'll be teaching with them. But anyway, August.
April?
Boy, have we been inside too long. April 18th at noon Eastern Standard Time is when we'll do the next class, and then we'll schedule something after that. But thinking about Mother's Day, the baguette or the mini cakes, one of those, and registration should open this week on that. So
you better decide what you're going to cook then.
I gotta decide what I'm gonna cook. It was funny because we woke up the other day, and I know that both of us are working from home, but I was like, what day is it? And it was Thursday. How many of you have been asking what day is it?
It's just another day.
And I was like, can it be Saturday? Like, if all the days are alike, can it be Saturday? But like I said, working with Diet Doctor, they don't let me get away with that. It has to be a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So anyway, I hope that you guys are doing okay at home and that you're staying safe. Those of you who are essential workers, who are working in our hospitals or medical professionals, or who are in our retail stores keeping groceries available for us, we thank you very, very much for that. And we appreciate you keeping the supply chain going. Our delivery folks, man, thank goodness for the Amazon deliverers, my postal service guy, our UPS, our FedEx. We are so grateful because that saves us from having to get out. And where can we register? I see that Hollister. I will have it out. I'll have it in the group. Like I said, hopefully next week. I owe GE or Chibo. I owe them an email to get registration started. But I'll promote that in the next week or so. So look for it. I'll post it here. I'll post it in the group. Like I said, they're going to cap it at 25 to 30 people. So it'll be a small class. But anyway, we'll get that out probably in the next week. But anyway, thanks to everybody who's out keeping things going so that the rest of us can stay at home and stay safe. If you go out, wear a mask. Wear a mask, whether it's homemade, wear a scarf, put your tea towel around your head.
Your Christmas tea towel.
Your Christmas tea towel around your head. But do use a scarf and stay safe. And we'll see you next Sunday on Easter. Are we going to do Easter Sunday?
You hadn't told me yet.
Yeah, we're going to do Easter Sunday. I don't know what we're going to do, but we'll do Easter Sunday. Anyway, stay safe, and we'll see you next week, guys.
Y'all stay safe.